I had to record it from my phone yet again. But anyways, this is episode review / recap on The Last Man on Earth. Episode 14 this is season 2, Skidmark. Alright, let me just scroll up a little bit. I kind of like just combobulated because of the damn stupid laptop. But hey, it's my whatever. But anyways, so we did the usual recap and now here we go. We get Phil and his brother Mike. And they both tussling like they were in the last episode. It turns out this whole entire tussle was because of the stupid girl who died. Most likely she died. Her name is Christine. And yeah, he's hung up on her. It turns out that Christine was the girl Phil was like, I have dibs on her. She was my girlfriend. And it seems like freaking Mike shaboink boink her. So yeah, he freaking did it with her. And that's why he's pissed off because, well, he did it with the girl that he actually said is me. All right. Anyways. So, yeah, family time happened. It was kind of nice. And it turns out that Mike was stuck up there for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Anyways, they reconciled and it turns out that Mike is his little brother. I kind of thought he was maybe the big brother, but okay, well, it makes sense that he was a little brother. So, yeah, anyways. Mike went to Phil's place. Yeah, so it turns out that, yeah, Mike actually went to Phil's place in Tucson. And it turns out that the place he chose was actually a football player's. I don't remember it was a NFL player or it was arena football player, but either way, he went to the player's house and that's where he actually decided to live, which that's what he did. And of course, apparently it looks like, yeah, and yeah, he knew that. Yeah, so Phil actually had that suit. It turns out that suit is nothing new. Phil had that suit before, so okay. Then we have Mike who found a note that Melissa left, and that's when he came there. So Phil apologizes about the beach scene to everyone. They're now inside, and well, Phil still has a grudge about that. He's like, man, Christine, she had to be something. She had to be better than Melissa. Oh, she redeemed herself. Well, anyways, they were all eating during this, by the way. So yeah, they were actually eating a delicious meal, and Mike was there to do research in NASA. So that's interesting. And Mike dislikes the beard that Phil was sporting. Of course, you heard Carol likes it. So actually, Carol liked it. Melissa liked it. So that's why he got the beard back and it's not going away. Well, yeah, until the end. Well, anyways, so it turns out that Phil had a nickname. So he was talking about he disliked the beard and why in the world they're using your middle name. And then he's like, well, why didn't they use your nickname? And his nickname was Skidmark. Thus why the episode is called this. So it was because of his freaking underwear. That's why. And of course, Melissa is the first one to use it. Yeah, of course. Now we have Todd and Gail together because Todd was doing the dishes. And Gail was like, yeah, that was kind of weird what you did, man. I mean, shoot. And Erica definitely was not into this. She was definitely not into the proposal. But with Phil, that something happened. My gosh, I didn't really want to talk about it. Well, anyways, Melissa is not in for the 4-way. And she jokes about the fact that she got a marriage proposal rejection from him. And now he wants to be in a 4-way with her. And Mike gets to sleep outside. Yeah, Phil is still salty about it. And of course, well, Mike said goodnight, Skidmark. Anyways, next up, after commercial break, Carol actually draws the brothers together. Yeah, she actually is doing a stupid scrapbooking, and my goodness. Anyways, Phil and Carol talks, and I'm like, Carol, please stop talking. Please just stop talking. But anyways, she did try to cheer him up. That's the good news. And she did say, you are a problem at times. That's like a big major ouch. It's like, ow. She did admit that he's a problem at times. Like, oof. Anyways, of course, we knew from the first season. She married him for the baby. Yep. But not now. Yeah, this time not really. And they kissed. My gosh. Mike is enjoying the company. I mean, he's been alone for 3 years, apparently. or less than that. And it's like, wow, man. Gail and Erica took the nickname, of course, yes, calling Phil Skidmark. I mean, again, it turns out that they do have some respect for him, but not a lot of respect for Phil. Well, the brothers burn each other, and then Phil actually decided to take off his underwear and show everyone it's clean, but he's been wearing it for 4 days. Mike is just so humble and caring, though. It's like, yeah. And oh, they hugged each other. So Mike decides to host a bonfire, and we have Melissa and Gail talking now. Yeah, so Gail was passing by with a big barrel of wine. So they talked, and Gail apologizes. Todd is a big teddy bear, Melissa says, and for Gail, he is a beanbag chair / quicksand. And they both care about him. Of course, you know what this most likely leads to, boys and girls. Well, anyways, the bonfire happened, and Mike can shoot an arrow, apparently, so he's the one for the next time. Yeah, even though Phil would be kind of pissed off, but still, yeah, my gosh. Maybe he was doing that because I don't even think that. Anyways, yeah, so Carol tells Mike that Phil is a good lover, and of course, well, Mike just made a joke saying, "Oh, you should be because he made out with a lot of dogs." Oh, Mike, Mike can actually play the guitar. It turns out he took 2 years of lessons as an 8-year-old, and yeah, he can play the guitar. He played this song that he made up by himself called "Ground Control" to Major Tom, and they all teared up from it because, well, it's just an experience of one thing I bet he last heard before a person died, maybe. And Phil is like nothing. Yeah, he wasn't even taking it in at all. And Mike started crying. Everyone confronts him, and guess what? Freaking Mike. First it was like freaking Todd, then it was like freaking Phil, and now it's freaking Mike. Oh man, but it's not even about girls anymore. It's not like about girls at all. Yeah. So commercial break, here we come. Now the next day, Phil comes into kitchen with everyone in there, and Phil wants to outdo Mike. So he decides to actually throw his own little thing, his own little party. And Mike has jokes. Mike's been doing jokes. And Phil is somewhat kind of bad at the jokes. I mean, he's bad at giving a punch back a few times. So Todd is crying. Yeah, so we flip to another one. Todd is actually crying, watching a nature show. Apparently, a mama bear was killed, and a baby bear is like, So he's like, "Come on, man, come on, you can do it. You can do it all by yourself." So Gail and Melissa shows up out of nowhere, and guess what they want to say? They want to have the relationship. They want to try it. Todd thought it was a joke at first, but after finding out it's real, Todd is happy with it. And he actually went on one knee and proposed to both of them. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, no, no, no." So instead, they just have a group hug. So Phil throws the party and no one shows up. And then it turns out Mike threw a pre-party, and the pre-party actually made some delays to them. And everyone's just dissing them because, well, they showed up late. Phil wants to perform. Mike does have jokes. Phil sucks at it. He sucks. Oh my gosh, he sucks. But at least the good news is that he did give Mike a recap of everything that happened before. So that's good. That is good. Um oh yeah, it was from "We Didn't Start the Fire." So yeah, he changed the lyrics a little bit, but it was decent, I guess. Except for the music part. It's like the music part sucks. I mean, his singing was okay, but the music, my gosh. It was like watching Randy Marsh doing Tween Wave. Yeah, but the music got a bit of control. Yeah, that. Yeah, as bad as that. Yeah, well, anyways. So Mike is dancing to it, and Phil is like a little bit pissed off of that one, and Phil decides to tell him the truth. Just the fact of he just doesn't like, he just says the fact of everything where it was like, "You're smarter than me, you're popular than me," especially with the girls. Yeah, and then he decides to tell the bombs that is kind of private. So he starts by talking about the fact of he got his nose fixed. Yeah, but he says he got plastic surgery to correct his nose. Then after that, he apparently was busted for plagiarism. And then last but not least, Mike missed his Nana because his Nana was in the hospital and he missed the moment where she died. So she needed a family with him, but instead he decided to go kayaking, which that was like the real thing that messed up freaking Mike. So Phil hurt Mike's feelings. Everyone leaves with him after he leaves. And then Carol talks to Phil after they actually make it back home. And Carol's like, oh, you should apologize. You were mean to him. And I do have to admit, she is kind of right on some of it. She's kind of right. But one thing you need to know about brothers, or sisters for that matter, is that some are cool and awesome, and others are ones who just make fun of each other. And that basically strengthens them and strengthens your bond in a way, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes right down to it, you can't really advise brothers to do something better. I mean, most likely they have each other's backs. Yeah, just let's just see a moment. And if he doesn't have his back, well then, but if he does, that just proves that they are brothers after all. Well, anyway, so Phil's way of brushing his teeth, he has morning time. So he puts some toothpaste inside his mouth or on his tongue. Then he takes his toothbrush and then uses it. Yeah, it's like, wow, that's weird. And Mike did something. So his revenge, yeah, because he was like last night, he was like, burn. He's like, no, 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 we're not even now. We're not even now. I'm going to get you back. So it turns out that Mike shaved half of him. He shaved his hair, his beard, and even his hoya hoya downstairs. The going. He actually went and cut a piece of that hair off too to match it. So, like they say, does the carpet match the drapes? Well, in this case, it does. So that's how it did, and we're gonna see how it plays out next week. Which, yeah. Well, me personally with this series, I mean, I like Mike. Mike is awesome now. Phil used to be awesome, but the writers had to do something messed up with him. Technically, Phil is just like how Theon Greyjoy, I remember his name now. Theon Greyjoy was in Game of Thrones. It's like beforehand, it's like awesome. Then when that freaking freak bastard got to him, it's like, you're now Reek. And do you think I like Reek? Hell no. Do I like Phil right now? Hell no. But Phil, his original character, I liked. But as soon as they started to twist and turn him, it's like, that's messed up. I mean, yeah, everyone likes sex, but dude, I mean, frick. I don't know. I mean, technically with Carol, it's like, yeah, I can understand you want to ditch her. But you should just said you want to ditch her and get the freak out of there instead of just doing that. But now they're together. I'm like, yeah, that's not really a good choice. But hey, whatever floats your boat, man. I mean, Melissa beforehand was a good choice, but now she's a so yeah, for those who don't know what that means, well, use context clues. But anyways, this episode skid marks, my goodness. Well, at least we get to see like a little bit more of a development, which is good. We get to hear more about Mike, get to hear more about Phil, and we get to see the crazy part that they actually will do well, I would say the Mormon thing. So yeah, they're going to do the Mormon thing, but Erica's not into that. Erica will most likely maybe still have Todd raise the baby, or maybe even choose Mike to help raise the baby. But other than that, it's like, yeah. I wonder how other Phil would actually think about freaking Todd now since he did that type of thing. Anyways, I say thank you for watching and stay tuned for another recap and review of The Last Man on Earth. Hopefully my stupid laptop will stop being an idiot so I don't have to do some freaking middleman crap.